A couple nights ago, we were able to watch one of the most historic performances from any player of all time. And as a Mavericks fan, I was extremely thrilled to watch it live and saw how Luka broke down the defense over and over again. It was truly beautiful to watch. And the Mavericks finally got another dub. So I go to bed, I wake up the next morning, and I was expecting to see my YouTube feed flooding with Luka Doncic videos talking about how he's one of the best scorers of all time, just anything remotely close to that. And all the videos I saw on my timeline were talking about how offense is just gone too far, defense is not a thing in the NBA, it's too easy to score, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just completely flabbergasted that that is our first reaction to seeing one of the most beautiful one man performances we've ever seen in the NBA. Luka Doncic drops 73 points on 25 of 33 shooting, 8 3-pointers on 13 attempts, and 15 for 16 from the free throw line, leaving him at a whopping 91.2% true shooting. And we are downplaying that. We're acting as if that's not one of the most insane accomplishments in a single game throughout NBA history. I don't understand how the second highest overall game score in a game from a single player in NBA history is not impressive. Like, yes, NBA offenses are way more skilled now. NBA offenses are way more unguardable. There's so much more spacing. Every player on the floor can shoot, ideally, but a lot of teams are able to play that way. So this accomplishment that's only been done 4 times before, let's just compare. Let's compare Luka's game to Wilt and David Thompson, for example. So David Thompson scored 73 on also very impressive 72% from the field in 1979, sorry, against the Detroit Pistons, who were the 14th defense, and keep in mind there were 22 teams in the league at the time, and they had a 38 and 44 record, so a below 500 team. I wonder if back then they were saying, oh, David Thompson did this against one of the worst teams in the league, so it has no value. I want to know, are you expecting someone to drop 70 points on a good defense? Because that's never happened in NBA history a single time. Wilt Chamberlain scores 73 against the Chicago Packers in 1962, who were the seventh out of seventh defense out of 9 teams, and had an overall record of 18 and 62. And keep in mind, Wilt shot a whopping 58% from the field that game. Luka shot 74% from the field. So where are we getting this narrative? Obviously, you hear people downplay Wilt's accomplishments all the time, but what about David Thompson? What about Kobe Bryant? Are we going to pretend as if those games had no value because they were played against bad defensive teams? No. They're thought of as some of the single most beautiful displays of scoring throughout NBA history. Yet Luka does the same thing, but better, and somehow it is no value. It is a problem for the league. There's too much offense, no defense. I don't know what people are expecting to happen. These guys are so much more skilled than any era before. It is so much more difficult to guard a player one-on-one now than in any era before. So there's currently about 25 guys averaging 20 points per game or more in the current NBA. Is that because people are just not playing defense? No, it's because the NBA has so much more skill, offensive talent right now than in any era before, and it's extremely difficult to game plan for these guys who can do whatever they want in the half court. What is this mindset? How do we get 73 points on 75% from the field, 91.2% true shooting, a beautiful game of bucket after bucket after bucket, let alone. Okay, keep in mind, the Hawks in the second half were doubling and blitzing almost the whole time. Yes, Luka is an offensive mastermind and got past that, and actually the offensive rating went up in the second half. But they were trying on defense. Luka was not just walking to these buckets. There's that one clip where Luka walks through two defenders on the Gortat seal, and everyone loses their mind on Twitter saying Luka walked to 73. Luka was hitting tough contested step back threes, middies, finishing in the paint over three guys. This was a beautiful display of offense, and it was not easy. It looked very easy because it's Luka, but it was not an easy 73 points whatsoever. Yet we're here. We have Stephen A saying this is blasphemous. We have everyone on YouTube talking about how Luka Doncic is overrated, or that somehow 73 points on 91.2% true shooting is not impressive. Let me know in the comments if you think that Luka's game is better or worse than these other guys' 73-point games. Keep in mind, only been done 4 times NBA history. Let me know what you think about this topic. It's really controversial right now. People talking about how offense is just gone too far. People want to implement the hand check rule back, or the 3 seconds in the lane. I really do not think hand checking is going to have any effect whatsoever on Luka dropping 73. That game, if the Hawks could hand check, if the Hawks had defensive 3 seconds, or didn't have defensive 3 seconds, does Luka still not drop like 65 at least? Like, it might not be quite as historic, but you really think those rule changes are going to change everything? No, it's just not. I don't know. Let me know what you think, and subscribe.